When men hear the word testosterone, most instantly think of masculinity, strength, or perhaps even aggression. But the truth is, testosterone is so much more than that. It's the foundation hormone that quietly shapes the way a man feels, functions, and even how he sees himself in the mirror every morning. And here's the fact most people don't realize: testosterone levels don't just crash overnight. They slowly, steadily begin to decline after the age of 30, about 1% every single year. By the time a man reaches 50, that decline has already taken a big bite out of his energy, his vitality, and often his confidence. Now, let's pause here. I'm not saying this to scare you. This is part of nature. But here's the hidden part. Most men accept it without even knowing they can actually fight back. They feel weaker, less driven, more tired, or less confident, and they think, well, I'm just getting old. No, that's not the whole truth. Much of this can be managed, improved, and in some cases, reversed with the right approach. So, what does low testosterone actually do in the body? Let's break it down into simple pieces. First, energy levels. Testosterone works directly with the mitochondria. You can think of those as the power stations inside every cell. When testosterone dips, those power stations don't produce energy as efficiently. The result? Fatigue, sluggish mornings, and that constant feeling that your get up and go has quietly packed its bags and left. Second, muscle mass and strength. Testosterone acts like the spark that tells your body, build and repair muscle. Without enough of it, even if you hit the gym, you'll notice less muscle growth and slower recovery. And when muscle fades, circulation weakens, balance gets worse, and even everyday things like climbing stairs feel harder than they should. Third, sexual health and intimacy. We don't need to go into explicit detail here, but every man knows this is important. Testosterone fuels libido, blood flow, and confidence in the bedroom. When levels drop, many men notice not only physical changes, but also psychological ones. And often, it's the psychology that hurts the most. Fourth, mood and confidence. Testosterone works hand in hand with brain chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, the very ones that make you feel motivated, sharp, and positive. Low testosterone can lead to irritability, lower self-esteem, and in some cases, depression. And this is where men often misunderstand themselves. They might say, I'm just grumpy, or I'm just not myself anymore. In reality, their hormones are sending signals that something is out of balance. Fifth, heart and circulation. Here's one most men don't realize. Testosterone helps keep blood vessels flexible. That means better circulation, which directly impacts not only energy, but also erection quality and cardiovascular health. When testosterone declines, vessels stiffen, circulation weakens, and risk of high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease rises. Now, let me highlight a crucial truth. This doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in. A little less drive here, a little more belly fat there, a bit of brain fog on busy mornings. Before you know it, years pass and you're living at half the capacity you once had. That's why awareness is key. When you know what's really happening inside your body, you can take action. And here's the golden nugget. Just because testosterone naturally declines doesn't mean you have to accept every single side effect of aging. There are lifestyle changes, dietary adjustments, and daily habits that directly influence your hormone balance. No, I'm not talking about magic pills or miracle cures. I'm talking about evidence-based choices that you can start making today. For example, even something as basic as sleep quality plays a huge role. Men who consistently sleep fewer than 6 hours a night often show testosterone levels that resemble men 10 years older. Another example, visceral fat or belly fat acts like a hormone sponge. It literally steals testosterone from your bloodstream and converts it into estrogen, a hormone that's more dominant in women. So the heavier around the waist you get, the lower your testosterone naturally falls. That's why trimming down and staying active is about more than just looks. It's about keeping your hormonal engine running smoothly. So, when we talk about testosterone, energy, and confidence, it's not just a medical conversation. It's a life conversation because hormones shape the way you live every single day. And here's the most empowering thing. You don't have to settle for the slow decline. You don't have to believe the lie that says, I'm old, so this is normal. Yes, age changes things, but knowledge changes them too. In the next section, I'm going to break down the simple, practical, and daily habits that any man over 50 can adopt to naturally restore energy, support testosterone, and keep his confidence high. These are not complicated, and they don't require you to spend a fortune. They are steps you can begin today. Now that we understand how testosterone naturally declines and affects your body, the next step is about action. Knowledge without action changes nothing. But the good news is your body responds quickly to even small adjustments. Think of it like tuning up a car. If you fix the small things, the oil, the tires, the fuel, suddenly the engine runs smoother. The male body works the same way. The first and most powerful daily habit is consistent movement. Notice I didn't say marathon running or 2 hours in the gym. No, I mean consistent, intentional movement. Research shows that resistance training, like lifting weights, push-ups, squats, or even carrying heavy groceries, signals your body to increase testosterone production. When your muscles are challenged, they send a message to the brain and testes, we need more power, and your hormones respond. The beauty here is that even 20 to 30 minutes a few times a week can create a noticeable difference. Next comes nutrition, the fuel your body runs on. And here's the truth, the modern diet is quietly draining men of their testosterone. Highly processed foods, excess sugar, and too many refined carbs spike insulin, encourage fat storage, and lower testosterone. On the flip side, certain nutrients directly support healthy levels. Let's name a few. Zinc. Found in foods like pumpkin seeds, oysters, and beef, zinc is one of the most important minerals for testosterone. Vitamin D. Called the sunshine vitamin, it acts more like a hormone in the body and directly boosts testosterone levels. Many men over 50 are deficient in it, especially if they spend little time outdoors. Magnesium. Found in leafy greens and nuts, it helps regulate hundreds of processes, including hormone production. Healthy fats. Olive oil, avocados, nuts, and fatty fish all provide the building blocks your body needs to actually make testosterone. Without enough of these fats, hormone production stalls. So when you look at your plate, ask, is this fueling energy, strength, and hormone health, or is it quietly stealing them from me? The third daily habit is managing stress. And I know that sounds like a cliche, but here's the science. When your stress hormone, cortisol, stays elevated for too long, it actually blocks testosterone. It's like having one foot on the gas and the other on the brake. You can't move forward. Chronic stress doesn't just make you feel anxious, it drains your energy, messes with your sleep, and lowers libido. The fix isn't complicated. 10 minutes of deep breathing, meditation, prayer, or even a slow evening walk can dramatically reduce cortisol and free up testosterone to do its job. Another critical habit is quality sleep. Think of sleep as your body's repair shop. During deep sleep, especially REM, your brain and body trigger the largest surges of testosterone. Miss out on those hours and you rob yourself of the very hormone that gives you vitality. In fact, studies show that men who sleep just 5 hours a night can have testosterone levels similar to men 10 years older. The sweet spot is usually 7 to 8 hours of restful, consistent sleep. That means going to bed and waking up at the same time, keeping your bedroom dark and cool, and shutting down screens at least an hour before bedtime. Let's not forget weight management. Extra belly fat acts like a hormone trap.
Fat cells convert testosterone into estrogen, which further reduces your levels. That's why men with bigger waistlines often report lower energy, weaker erections, and less motivation. But the encouraging truth is this: even losing just 5 to 10% of your body weight can significantly boost testosterone levels. It doesn't require perfection, it requires progress. Here's another often overlooked factor: alcohol consumption. Occasional social drinking isn't necessarily harmful, but regular heavy drinking is one of the fastest ways to suppress testosterone and harm liver function. The liver is critical in hormone regulation, so when it's overloaded, testosterone production drops. The best approach is moderation. Now, one habit that surprises many men is sunlight and outdoor activity. Remember vitamin D? Direct sunlight on your skin for even 15 to 20 minutes a day can help restore healthy levels. And being outdoors often combines light exercise, fresh air, and relaxation, all of which support hormone health. Finally, let's talk about relationships and social bonds. You might not expect this in a health discussion, but loneliness and isolation are silent testosterone killers. Strong social connections, healthy friendships, laughter, and purpose all raise dopamine and oxytocin, brain chemicals that directly support confidence and vitality. Men who stay connected and engaged tend to have higher energy, better mental health, and stronger testosterone balance. When you put all of these habits together, movement, nutrition, stress management, sleep, weight control, smart alcohol use, sunlight, and connection, you create a lifestyle that signals to your body, we are alive, we are strong, and we need testosterone. And your body listens. But let's be clear, no single habit is a magic fix. It's the combination, practiced consistently, that creates real change. And here's the secret. Once you start stacking these habits, momentum builds. More energy leads to more movement. Better sleep leads to better moods. A stronger mindset leads to more confidence. It becomes a cycle, a positive cycle that works in your favor. And that leads us to the next part of our journey. Because testosterone isn't just about hormones and habits, it's about how you see yourself as a man, how confident you feel in your own skin, and how you carry yourself into every part of life. In the next section, we'll talk about the powerful link between hormone balance, confidence, and mindset, and why these three together form the ultimate key to living strong after 50. By now, you understand how testosterone declines with age and the daily habits that can restore strength and vitality. But there's a deeper layer we need to address. Because testosterone is not only a number on a lab test. It's not just about muscles or energy. It's about how you see yourself as a man, your confidence, your presence, and the way you interact with the world around you. You see, when testosterone levels drop, the changes go far beyond the physical. Many men describe it as feeling less like myself. They notice more hesitation, less drive, even less willingness to take risks or speak their mind. That's not just in your head, that's chemistry. Testosterone directly influences neurotransmitters in the brain, including dopamine and serotonin, which regulate motivation, pleasure, and confidence. When hormone balance dips, those signals weaken. Now, here's the flip side. When you restore healthy levels, whether through lifestyle changes, medical guidance, or a combination of both, your mindset begins to shift. Confidence grows, energy returns. That spark that may have felt lost in the shuffle of age, responsibility, and stress begins to reappear. Think of it like this. Testosterone is the body's natural amplifier. It doesn't create confidence out of thin air, but it amplifies what's already inside you. If you've built discipline, resilience, and purpose, testosterone strengthens that. If you've invested in your health, your family, your goals, testosterone sharpens your ability to live those things fully. This is why mindset matters so much, because no amount of testosterone, natural or medical, can replace a defeated mindset. You must approach this stage of life with the belief that strength is still possible, vitality is still possible, and growth is still possible. And let me tell you, men who carry that belief often feel 10 years younger, not because they found a magic pill, but because they chose not to surrender to decline. Confidence, however, isn't built overnight. It's built through action, through showing up, through keeping promises to yourself. When you commit to the habits we talked about earlier, moving daily, eating for energy, prioritizing sleep, managing stress, every small win adds a brick to your foundation of confidence. You begin to feel stronger, not just physically, but mentally, and that's the turning point.
Let's also talk about relationships, because many men over 50 feel a quiet fear, the fear of becoming invisible, the fear of losing attraction, passion, or relevance in their marriage or in the dating world. Testosterone plays a role here, yes, but so does how you carry yourself. Women, especially, are deeply attuned to confidence, presence, and touch. When you walk into a room with your head up, shoulders back, and energy that says, "I'm still here, I'm still alive," that presence speaks louder than any number on a blood test. In fact, one of the most overlooked aspects of male health is emotional intimacy. Many men were never taught to express emotions or vulnerability. But here's what research and experience shows. Testosterone supports drive, but connection sustains passion. A man who takes care of his health, shows confidence, and also offers understanding and presence in his relationships creates a balance that women deeply respond to. Now, let's be practical. Some men will do all the right things, eat well, move, sleep, and still feel the effects of low testosterone. This is where medical evaluation comes in. A simple blood test can measure your levels. If they're low, treatments like testosterone replacement therapy, or TRT, and other hormone optimization methods may be appropriate. Under the guidance of a qualified physician, these treatments can restore balance safely and effectively. But remember, medication alone is not the answer. It's a tool. The foundation is still lifestyle, mindset, and daily discipline. So here's the message I want you to take away. Aging does not mean decline. Aging means evolution. Your body changes, yes, but you have more tools, more knowledge, and more control than ever before. You can choose to surrender, or you can choose to adapt and thrive. Think about it. Energy, confidence, and vitality aren't just for your 20s or 30s. They are for every stage of life, if you decide to claim them. Imagine waking up with clarity and purpose. Imagine walking into a room with presence and strength. Imagine reconnecting with your partner in ways that feel alive and passionate again. These aren't fantasies. They are the natural rewards of aligning your hormones, your habits, and your mindset. So here's the message I want you to take away. Start today. Choose one habit. Maybe it's walking for 20 minutes. Maybe it's cutting sugar. Maybe it's going to bed an hour earlier. Stack those wins. Protect your testosterone. Protect your confidence. Protect the man you are and the man you want to continue to be. Because in the end, testosterone isn't just about health. It's about identity. It's about saying, I'm still strong, I am still vital, and I am still here to live fully. And trust me, that decision changes everything.